All right, hey there, my name is Rhea Waller and I'm the instructor for a course that you're enrolled in next semester called CIT94. So 94 is the server-side scripting class. It's the companion class for CIT93. So students, some of you have taken my CIT93 this semester. When I say this semester, I mean the fall 17 semester. And that is client-side scripting, which is the most popular programming language for client, which is JavaScript. What's different about CIT94 is there's many different technologies to choose from when looking at server-side scripting. I'm going to be teaching it next semester, so I get to choose Node.js, which is JavaScript on the server. So what's wonderful for those of you, and I know there's a couple of you that are taking this class that have taken my 93 class, you're well positioned to take the experience of coding in JavaScript into coding with JavaScript on the server. So, and if you haven't had JavaScript, I'll make some recommendations in a little bit for what you would want to do to get ready for this course. So this course is taught in the face-to-face mode, and I'm recording this before I head out just to give you that information that you need to get the materials and to get ready, because you actually want to check out the materials before the first day of class, which in this case is Wednesday nights here on campus. BE, Business Education 127 is the classroom from 6 p.m. till 9:50 on Wednesdays. Campus starts back on January 8th, so our first class would be the 10th. Okay? So if you have any questions between now and then, you're welcome to email me, and that will be in the syllabus so you can check it out if you have questions. Otherwise, let's go ahead and turn to the course that I have set up, and right now all I basically have, because this is the first time I've taught 94, so I just have the syllabus, and over the winter break I'll be filling in some of the details, but I do have a tentative schedule for what we will be doing. So let's take a look. So for this class, when you come into it, and I'll go ahead and open it up, like I said, all you'll see is the syllabus at this point in my office, and I think these are my correct spring 18 hours. If not, they'll be updated. And here's my email. Here's the duration. Actually, that's wrong, but I'll fix that. But here's probably the most important thing you want to know right now, which is what are the required materials. We'll be using one course on Udemy. It's called Complete Node.js Developer Course 2nd Edition, and I've given you a link here. And here's what I want you to know. First, I'll click over into this. I've already logged on to my version of this. This thing should cost you no more than $12. What I would recommend you do, if you don't already have a Udemy account, even if you do, just search for the course name, okay, on Google, and then like a discount code, because if it's any more than $12, you should be able to find out there on the ethers of the internet or on the web a code that should give it to you cheaper. But the other reason I'm doing this before I head out to winter break is in case they make this one of those flash sales over the winter break and you get it for maybe $8, right? So, but still, it's a really reasonable cost, and it's a really great course. Over 400,000 people have taken this course, and it's pretty highly rated, and I really love the content here. So I'm going to just scroll down through here again. I've already logged on. What you're going to want to have looked at before, and please get this before the start, before that first Wednesday night class, is to gotten into the course and go over section 2, because it gives you a great introduction, helps you walk through installing Node.js, which I would definitely say attempt to do before you come into class. If not, it's what you and I will be doing in lab. Talks about what Node is, why you should use it, and then he's going to actually use Atom. So when I say he, which is the instructor for this course, who's Andrew Mead, he's going to use, and by the way, Atom is a really nice editor. I personally will use Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to click over here. So if you search for Visual Studio Code, you will see that, and if you do any research, you will see that this is a very popular, not the most popular, but one of the most popular editors out, and it's gaining momentum. I see a lot more people use it. You can download it for the Mac, for Linux, for the PC, and Microsoft builds it, and I think they did a really awesome job. Like Atom and like Sublime Text, if you know those editors, there's built-in packages you can get. There's some really great stuff, and it's got some of the higher end IDE features, so it's a really great editor. So again, coming back here to the course, you're going to want to watch these two, well, watch the first one. I guess this is a welcome. Andrew does a nice job. And then watch this one. And this is in preparation for our first night together. Okay. And then in the second week, I will have laid this out. So let me just show you this. I have laid out tentatively where I think what we will cover each week. And so as far as the course overall grading goes, you will have in-class work to do, which is where 25% code along stuff that'll be some of the, actually that I'm not, yeah, I got to think about this one a little bit, how we're going to do that one, because the in-class stuff. Anyway, this is my tentative breakdown, but 50% of the class is going to be develop it, and that's where we take, and for those of you that have taken my classes in this semester, you know what that means is basically you're taking what you've learned and you're building something, okay, your version of something, right? So you take the concepts of the Note app that we learned, and I put ++ here, and that's kind of probably not the best thing to do because there actually is an editor that's called Notepad++, but you'll take the things that you've learned in this Note app, and then you'll create your version of it. So it's probably not the best way. And there's a weather app, and then there's a server. What's cool is we're going to get into some testing, so we'll learn how to test your code, to set up tests, to write tests for your code. Really important in today's environment of development, which is doing agile development, doing test-driven development. And so we get into that, I believe, in section 7. But I really do, after, I mean, during the winter break here, I actually think we can get a little further because this is the only course material we're going to be using, and then we'll be doing some stuff in class. This again is a tentative schedule. Okay, so what do you need to be ready for this course? Okay, if you have no JavaScript experience, I definitely would recommend that there's a couple of things you could do. There's Codecademy. Codecademy is awesome. There's a JavaScript class out on Codecademy. You can check that out here. My CIT15 students do part of this class, but I think this is a really great way to go. Where's it at? Introduction to JavaScript. So do as much of that if you can. The other alternative to that would actually be Free Code Camp. There is a JavaScript part of their class or their course. There's a 10-hour getting some JavaScript basic muscle memory, I call it here, right? You can do that. You can also, if you want, and I recommend, one of the things in the JavaScript course that we just finished was JavaScript, the weird parts. And that you can get the first 3 hours for free up on YouTube. So I definitely, to understand the language, because the more you understand JavaScript, the better experience your experience in Node.js, because it's just JavaScript on the server. Okay, so I definitely say level up. Doesn't hurt to level up on JavaScript. I will do a JavaScript the first night, a review in JavaScript of the first night, but the more you have come ready with that, the better you will do. So the other thing you're going to want to do, because the important part of this course is also doing using Git to version control our code. So you want to make sure you have this up and running, and I will have probably sometime between now and the time the course starts some more information on that as far as that. But again, if you want to learn Git, if you don't already know it, Codecademy also offers something on GitHub. Shell bash is probably right here. You can learn the command line and learn Git, because you learn the command line mostly to use Git, but just knowing how to use the command line is great. So that's the other thing I would recommend to you. So I leave you with this, which is why learn Node.js. Well, this is a survey 2017 of folks on Stack Overflow. So Stack Overflow is the most common way that developers use, most common site folks use to get answers to coding questions or look at best practices. It's just a wealth of knowledge, and they survey all the folks on there, at least people willing to say, and the most popular language on Stack Overflow is JavaScript, and the most popular framework libraries is actually Node.js, with Angular right there as number 2. So it is a great time to learn. There's a lot of momentum heading out around JavaScript right now. So good time to learn it. Again, if you haven't taken client-side JavaScript, I'll be teaching that not next semester, but the semester after that. But there's also great, as I've already indicated in this video, other ways to learn JavaScript. Okay, so let me bring you back here. So that's what I wanted to give you for at least a, what you might want to think about doing, or definitely what you want to do, which is to get that course that the complete Node.js developers course from Andrew Mead on Udemy. Watch section 1 and 2 before you come into the classroom. Because we will actually have an activity for that information. So it's good to come prepared. If you don't have any experience with GitHub, you definitely want to have that installed on your computer. If you have not, get an editor, figure out which one you want to use. Again, I will use Visual Studio Code. If you don't have any experience at all with JavaScript, you want to go get some experience, at least over break. That's a good idea. What was the other thing I said? I think that was it. So look as the winter break goes to, I will be filling in more of the detail of this course, but at least now it gives you an overview of what you need. Okay, I look forward to seeing you next semester.